Hey, good day, children. Good morning to all. I am Mrs. Indumati, your English ma'am. Before stepping into the class, let's see the today's moral about aspiration. Children, the meaning of aspiration is arvam. Okay? How much the good things we aspire, that much we reach the goal. So, our aspirations are our possibilities and our aspirations are our responsibilities. So, children, keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Let's start to aspire the great achievements. Okay, children? Let's start to learn the poem I Remember, I Remember. The poem is written by Thomas Hood. Let's see some example of remembrance, children. Do you have any special memories from last year, like school memories, functions, festivals, etc.? And can you remember anything that happened 5 years ago? That means your childhood activities. In your book, page number 10, they have given two boxes. In the first box, you have to write about the last year memories. In the second box, you have to write about the 5 years old activities. Okay, let's start to see the first stanza. The poem I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day. But now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. Children, in this first stanza, the poet talks about the house where he was born. His remembrance of the sun peeping through the window at the morning, it indicates his childish ignorance. The passing day from morning till night gives pleasure to the child. Hence, the day does not either end early or prolong. However, at the present, the poet wishes for the night to take away his breath. His desire to death indicates his painful life, which means brighter and happier parts of his life. In the present, he longs for the might, that is, darkness, which means distress of life. Okay, children? Now let us see the second stanza. I remember the roses red and white, the violet and the lily cups, those flowers made of light, the lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. The poet moves from his house into the garden in the second stanza. Children, he looked the variety of flowers like red and white roses, violet lilies, and lilacs. He believed that those flowers are heavenly blessed flowers. Later, he talks about the laburnum which his brother has planted on his birthday. The line, the trees is living yet. Children, here this might convey two meanings. The first one is the person who has planted it, that is, his brother, is no more, whereas the tree is living. The second one is the tree is living, growing, but the poet is decaying. Children, can you understand the second stanza? Okay, come on, let's move to the third one. I remember where I was used to swing and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the swing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. Children, the third stanza talks about the swinging of the poet in his past. As a child, he was swinging very fast to feel the rushes of the fresh air. He was like feathers which fly quickly, but now he is heavy. The stanza talks about physical feeling, and summer is cherished in the country in which the poet was born. Even such a wonderful summer could not heal his fever, which might means his sadness or physical sickness. Okay, children, now let's see the fourth stanza. I remember the fir trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were closed against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now it is little joy to know I am farther off from heaven than when I was a boy. By Thomas Hood. In this stanza, the poet contrasts the childish, close relationship with heaven with the rational knowledge of the grown ups who lost faith on spirituality. During his childhood days, he imagined that the top of the dark and huge fir tree was close to the heaven. At present, he understood it as a childish ignorance. With such ignorance, he lived happily in the past. Now, the rational mind gives him no joy, but makes him to feel that the heaven is in a long distance for him to reach. Okay, children? Now, let us see the summary of the poem. The poem I Remember was written by Thomas Hood, a great English poet and humorist. The poet recalls his childhood memories and compares his childhood joy and his gloomy present. The poem deals with the wonders of life through the childhood memories. Children, do the checkpoint exercise and study the new words and meanings. Thank you and Jai Gurudev.